Welcome back, Cowboys Nation, and thank you so much for joining us again for another packed update from the heart of Dallas Cowboys territory. The headlines are absolutely lighting up this week with rumors, surprises, and some jaw-dropping speculation that could reshape how we view this team heading into the 2025 season. From a shocking trade rumor surrounding Mazi Smith to the evolving and potentially expanded role of Jalen Tolbert, and even some buzz surrounding rookie quarterback Joe Milton's preseason outlook, it seems like there's no shortage of stories swirling around the star in Frisco. Oh, and we absolutely cannot forget the latest on Micah Parsons, who continues to make waves both on and off the field as he ramps up for what could be his most dominant season yet. So buckle in, Cowboys fans, because there's a lot to unpack, and some of it could change how we look at this roster heading into Week 1. Let's begin with one of the most unexpected developments. Whispers and online chatter suggesting the Cowboys might actually be entertaining trade scenarios involving former first-round defensive tackle Mazi Smith. Now, this might come as a shock to some fans, especially considering Smith was just selected in the 2023 NFL Draft and was viewed as a long-term piece of Dan Quinn's physical front seven. But fast forward to the current training camp, and there are real concerns surfacing about Smith's fit in Mike Zimmer's defensive scheme. While Zimmer has publicly praised Smith's raw strength and potential, there have been quiet concerns from behind the scenes that the young tackle has struggled to adjust to the more aggressive, read and react style Zimmer prefers compared to the gap control system he was initially drafted into under Quinn. Add to that Smith's inconsistent motor and recent comments from team insiders that he's been outperformed in camp by players like Osa Odigizwa and even rookie Justin Rogers, and you start to wonder if the front office might be considering their options. Of course, nothing is official. No trade has been executed, and the Cowboys leadership, including Jerry Jones and Will McClay, have remained tight-lipped about any actual discussions. But when asked about Mazi's progress during a recent presser, Jones gave a surprisingly vague answer, noting that we're always evaluating how guys fit what we're trying to do. That's hardly a full vote of confidence, and it has only added fuel to the fire that Smith could be dangled as part of a larger trade package, possibly to shore up depth at corner or even at offensive line, where injuries have started to raise concern. While trading away a former first-round pick this early might seem extreme, the Cowboys have shown in the past they are not afraid to pivot if they feel a player isn't developing on their timeline. For now, all eyes will be on Smith's preseason reps, because if he's being showcased heavily in the coming games, that could be a sign the team is looking to increase his trade value. Now, shifting gears to someone who's trending in the exact opposite direction, wide receiver Jalen Tolbert. Just a year ago, many Cowboys fans were wondering whether Tolbert was going to be a draft bust after an underwhelming rookie campaign where he struggled to crack the rotation. But here in 2025, we're seeing a completely different version of Tolbert. He's faster, more confident, more in sync with Dak Prescott, and he's been the breakout star of training camp by all accounts. The departure of Michael Gallup earlier this offseason opened up a crucial spot in the wide receiver pecking order, and Tolbert has not only seized that opportunity, he's surpassed expectations. Whether it's working out of the slot or stretching the field on the outside, Tolbert has shown improved route running and, more importantly, the kind of chemistry with Prescott that suggests he could be a legit WR3 behind CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. Sources close to the coaching staff have indicated that the Cowboys are planning to feature Tolbert heavily in both the preseason and regular season game plans. And this isn't just mop-up duty either. He's reportedly being involved in red zone packages, motion looks, and even end-arounds. That's a big shift from his rookie usage, where he was primarily used as a depth piece. And with Mike McCarthy calling plays again, the emphasis on dynamic receiver packages and three wide sets only boosts Tolbert's chances of becoming a real weapon in this offense. In fact, there's even chatter that Tolbert could be used similarly to how the 49ers use Brandon Ayuk, someone who might not be the focal point, but who ends up torching defenses because they're so focused on stopping Lamb and Cooks. If Tolbert carries his momentum into preseason games, he could very well be the breakout player of the year for the Cowboys. Speaking of preseason, let's talk about the curious case of Joe Milton. The rookie quarterback out of Tennessee has been generating buzz for his absolute cannon of an arm, something that's been on full display in camp, but there's a real debate unfolding among Cowboys insiders and fans alike. Is Milton actually being groomed for something more significant than just a developmental role? While Cooper Rush remains the clear-cut backup to Dak Prescott, Milton has been getting increased reps in practice, and not just during garbage time. He's working with the second-team offense, and even taking a few red zone snaps that have observers raising their eyebrows. That's a pretty significant indicator that the Cowboys are intrigued by what they have in Milton. Now, let's be clear, Milton is still raw. He's got a cannon, but his accuracy and decision-making under pressure are inconsistent. However, what makes this situation fascinating is the long-term thinking behind it. Dak is entering a pivotal year in terms of his contract and future with the team. While it's too early to say the Cowboys are grooming Milton to be a potential successor, it's not hard to see why they're intrigued. If he flashes potential during the preseason, especially against second or third team defenses, then he could become a valuable chess piece for this franchise. Whether that means he stays as a high upside backup, gets developed slowly like a Jordan Love type player, or becomes trade bait down the line, Milton's preseason performance is going to be watched very, very closely. Now, let's talk about the heart and soul of the Cowboys defense, Micah Parsons. If there's one player who continues to elevate not only his game, but the entire team's energy, it's number 11. Training camp has been an absolute showcase for Parsons' dominance. He's lining up everywhere from edge rusher to inside linebacker to even some snaps at the line of scrimmage in hybrid fronts. But what's really got people talking are his recent comments about being in the best shape of his life and his goal to win Defensive Player of the Year. Again, Parsons isn't just saying the right things, he's backing them up with action. He's faster off the edge, stronger in his bull rush, and he's even working with the defensive backs in individual drills to refine his coverage technique. That's the level of detail he's committed to as he takes another leap in his already elite career. What's even more interesting is that Parsons has taken on a more vocal leadership role this year. With veterans like DeMarcus Lawrence entering the twilight of their careers, Parsons is clearly stepping into the role of emotional and strategic leader of the defense. He's mentoring younger players, holding teammates accountable during walkthroughs, and even calling out offensive players during scrimmages in ways that are getting noticed by the media. That kind of intensity is contagious, and it's already starting to elevate the entire defensive unit. In a recent joint practice session, Parsons reportedly wrecked multiple plays in a row, forcing the offense to adjust protections just to deal with his presence. And make no mistake, Parsons has not lost sight of his ultimate goal, a Super Bowl. When asked about personal accolades, he was blunt. All-Pro is great. DPY is nice. But I want a ring. That's it. That's the mentality Cowboys fans want to hear, and it's part of why expectations are sky high for this team. So what does all of this mean for the Dallas Cowboys heading into their first preseason game? Well, quite a lot. You've got a potential trade brewing with a former first-round pick, a wide receiver ready to break out, a rookie quarterback getting real reps, and a defensive superstar hitting new heights. This is the kind of training camp drama and excitement that can either galvanize a team or lead to some massive shakeups. The truth is, this year feels different. There's urgency. There's intensity. There's competition at every position. And most of all, there's belief that this Cowboys team, despite the usual off-season noise, might actually have the pieces to make a real run. But as always, Cowboys Nation, we want to hear what you think. Is Mazi Smith really on the trade block, or is this just smoke? Will Jalen Tolbert actually break through and become a real contributor this season? Do you believe Joe Milton has what it takes to be more than a developmental quarterback? And can Micah Parsons finally bring home a Super Bowl ring for Dallas? Drop your thoughts down in the comments, we're reading every single one of them. And if you enjoyed this update and want to stay plugged into all things Cowboys from training camp to postseason, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a single report. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Go Cowboys!